Welcome to another episode of Player's Perspective. In this one, I'm going to be reacting to some 49ers. And for those who don't know, a 49er is a female who thinks she's a 9, but she's really a 4. The title of this video is You Think You're a 10, and it's on the It's Complicated channel, which is a great channel. I recommend everybody give them a follow. Let's get into it.
Okay, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
10s across the board. Oh, period.
10.
Okay,
12.
isn't saying you're
Wow.
a 10 admitting there's no room for improvement?
No, not at all.
Isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
You're right.
Yes. We were perfect. We just said
We
we
just
were
said we're 10s.
That doesn't. You didn't say that being.
They all think they're 10s across the board. Most of these bitches are delusional. They all think they're fucking 10s.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect.
All right, I'm gonna give them some realistic numbers. The one on the left, I'd give her a 7.5, maybe even an 8, maybe. By American standards, she's probably a 7.5, maybe an 8 by American standards. International standards, she'd be a 7.5. The one in the middle is like a solid 4 or 5. The one on the right is also a 4 or a 5 at best.
Well, what would be perfect then? On a scale of 1 to 10?
There is no perfect, really.
Isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
Yes, 100%.
10s are reserved for celebrities who are also like, I would reserve a 10. Who would be a 10? Like a Megan Fox from the first Transformer movies. Like a 2008 Megan Fox would be a 10. These bitches out here walking around solid 6s, 5s, 4s, thinking they're fucking 9s and 10s. It's crazy out here, man. The game's fucked up. Instagram's made these bitches delusional as fuck.
So then why would you admit that you're a 10, which is perfect?
Because you should feel in your own way that you are.
I feel they all live in feelings worlds, not facts. Women live in fucking feelings, bro.
Perfect because
It's 'cause they
that's how
feel
you
like
live.
10.
Because that's manifesting that you are a 10.
No, it doesn't.
12.
Isn't saying you're
delusion.
a 12 admitting there's no room for improvement?
Ooh, you got me. No, that doesn't.
No, because, I mean, the universal scale?
You gotta
Yeah.
speak in the microphone.
Is it?
Universal scale, we're talking about like 20, right? Right. So, like, there's always room for improvement. We just think highly of ourselves, but there's always room for improvement.
The one on the left is like a 4 or 5 again. Also, I give her the one on the right 4. 3 actually, because the one on the right doesn't even make an effort. She's wearing like a loose t-shirt, hair's in a fucking ball. 3.
Improvement. We just think highly of ourselves.
Well, isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
No, it just means that there's room to grow, right?
Yes.
So then if there's
The
room to grow,
room to grow.
I didn't say we're
Then you're not
perfect.
a
We just
10.
said we think highly of ourselves.
Okay, but how
Clearly.
highly is too highly?
There's not a limit. There's not a limit.
There's never.
she's right. There's no limit to delusion. There's no limit to schizophrenia or any other mental illness.
It's
not
never
a limit.
too much.
You don't. There's not a level to where I think so highly of myself that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not there.
I think everybody should think highly
Yes.
of themselves.
You should too.
All the way
Yep.
out in outer
You
space.
should.
I agree that you should have confidence. I agree with these bitches with that. You should have confidence. But there's a difference between confidence and delusion. And these bitches are delusional out here.
Have the most
Okay,
confidence.
High in the sky.
What is more attractive to you? Somebody that's down to earth and doesn't take themselves too seriously, or somebody who walks around and thinks they're all that?
I like both. I mean, no, I would.
It's like a mixture of both.
It's like it is a mixture of both. You want someone who thinks highly of themselves, but
But also knows how to.
earth.
Yeah.
Well, how can you be both? Aren't they a
It's
contradiction?
very possible.
Yeah,
Look
it
at that one. Like, I think highly of myself, and I'm hella goofy and down to earth at the same time. And I'm single, so
But we
She
know
is goofy,
that.
I'll give her
We
that.
know that we're not better than anybody else.
Okay, is it possible to improve without taking accountability?
No.
Yeah,
You have to be self-aware and accountable.
Accountability. A woman's kryptonite.
What's the last mistake you took accountability for?
Damn. The last mistake I took accountability for. Always being late.
Bitches are always
Why
late.
why is it often said
You
that
already know. You picking up a bitch, you tell her I'm gonna pick you up at 8, this bitch ain't gonna be ready till 8:30. That's why if you're gonna be there at 8, you tell them be ready for 7. And you're so that way you're the one who's late and you're the one who makes her wait.
women are notoriously late?
Because it take a long time to look
Yeah.
good, boo.
Yeah.
Like, we have so much to do. We have to, like, do our hair, our makeup.
Procrastination,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, why not just start getting ready earlier?
Procrastination.
Okay. If you were on a first date, how long would you wait for a man who was late?
Not at all.
I wouldn't wait. If you're
They wait for the right guy. If you're the right guy, if they respect you enough, they will wait. They'll wait hours. They'll wait hours at a bus stop for you. If you're the right dude.
late,
Honestly, past 10 minutes.
I would say if they're communicating with me,
Yeah.
I give it 10
Yeah.
minutes.
With communication,
I give it like 10,
it's
15
fine.
minutes.
yeah, if they're communicating.
As long as there's like letting me know what's up.
Okay. When preparing for a special night out on the town, how much consideration do you give towards being on time?
None. I have 15 minutes to make it to a club, and I still got to go change and get ready.
Zero.
Zero.
Zero? Why is it often said that women are notoriously late?
Because
Because
they
we
take
have more
fucking
stuff.
hours to
No,
get
we
dressed.
have more
They
stuff
want
to
do
do.
eyelashes.
We have more stuff to do. All they have
wanna
to do is take
feet,
a shower.
nails, hands.
A
They want to
shower
wax
and
that
get dressed.
coochie
We
before
got
they
way more
get
shit to
out.
do.
They want to do all
We
type of
have
shit.
way more shit to do. They don't have nothing to do besides take a shower. Hair already cut.
Yeah, it's because most of these women put on a ton of makeup. They got to do their fake eyelashes. They got to do all this other extra shit. Most of which guys don't even give a fuck about. We don't give a fuck about your lashes. But they do it, and I guess in a way I appreciate that they put in the effort to look good. But at the same time, a lot of these bitches, man, they don't care about your time. They're gonna be late. If you're picking them up, they're gonna be late. Most of them, anyways. So, like I said, if you're gonna be there 8, tell her to be ready by 7. Tell her you're gonna be there at 7, and then that way you show up late, and you have the upper hand. You're making her wait, and she's not making you wait. It's a power play.
Throw an outfit on.
We're just always late because we do so much
Chestnut
when we're
checkers,
trying to get somewhere. Like
motherfuckers.
when we're getting ready, we dance and sing, and it's like we haven't done anything.
Okay. I often hear the excuse to be fashionably late, right? Why is fashionably late a thing when women are capable of being on time for a job?
I don't think it's an excuse.
Good point.
Why do modern women have more of a problem submitting to a husband than they do submitting to an employer?
What was the question?
In other words, why do women think they are free when they serve their employers, but slaves when they serve their husband and children?
Because the employers give us money. Our husbands give us headaches.
So men don't give you money? I thought men were providers.
They are, but I know for sure I'm going to get paid on the 1st of 15. I don't know with him.
Okay. What's one thing you wish?
Probably because you're fucking with low value men because you're low value yourself. Have you thought about that? You wouldn't have that problem if you were with a G.
I know for sure I'm going to get paid on the 1st of 15. I don't know with him.
Okay. What's one thing you wish men understood better about women?
Catcalling, it's not appreciated.
There's a difference from being creepy and then just trying
Charming.
to being
What she's saying is basically she only wants to get catcalled by attractive guys. That's what she's saying. If you're unattractive, fat, overweight, smelly, don't approach her. But if you're a G, good-looking guy, tall, handsome, rich, all the above, you're free to catcall her. That's what she's saying. It's selective, and it's understandable, but I don't think these bitches have really thought about it too much.
And complimenting. Catcalling is not complimenting.
Not a compliment.
I would agree with them in that sense that there's a right way to compliment a woman and approach, and there's a wrong way. A lot of guys, when they approach women, they're not confident, they're fidgety, they're you can't approach a bitch like that. You got to be smooth with it. You got to go in with confidence, like, yeah, what's up? Like, have that aura of why would you not want to fuck me? Don't, without saying it. You have to exude that. There's a difference too, and then also it depends on how attractive you are.
What does the behavior of approaching a woman respectfully look like?
It looks like a man coming up to you and just giving you literally a normal compliment, like your outfit.
And also probably talking to you about yourself other than talking to you about your looks and what you look like.
Instead of being like, damn girl, that ass is fat.
Okay, I'll say this. The title of this video was 49ers Out of Control. But these are not 49ers. These are actually like attractive females. The one on the left, I'd give an 8. Middle, 7.5. And the one on the right is also an 8. So these are not 49ers.
Fat. How about be like, wow, like you're a beautiful woman.
Makeup looks nice.
Something like that other than complimenting your physical.
If a man gives you a compliment and a woman gives you a compliment, does it have different
Okay,
meaning?
actually, scratch that.
to
The
you
one on the
if
right
it's the
is an 8.5.
exact same compliment?
Yes. If a woman
Yes.
gives it to me, then it means way more. If a man gives it to me,
I'm like,
A compliment.
She looked like a broken doll there for a second. The chick on the right.
woman gives it to me, then it means way more.
Yeah, did you guys see that?
If it's the exact same
It's like one of those
compliment.
broken dolls.
If a woman
Yes.
gives
Where the
it
one
to
eye's
me,
like-
then it means way more. If a man gives it to me,
I'm like,
A compliment from a man means literally nothing, but a compliment from a woman.
The compliment from the right man, a high value man, means something to you. A guy that you respect, that means something. But if it's just Joe Schmo, then it's actually annoying to you because you get creeped out by it. And that's understandable. Not saying that there's anything particularly wrong with having preferences. I have preferences. But these bitches are not, I don't think they've computed all of that in their minds.
Now that's something.
So what advice would you give to a man who maybe wants to come up and say something nice without being perceived as creepy?
Approach a woman nicely. Say, I just want to let you know you're beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, instead of just like, maybe you could,
Or-
maybe
or
if she's into
don't-
it, if she's into it, stand there, wait a second. But if you could tell she's like, like,
That's some good advice. I agree with them in that they're giving some good advice. But with the first chick said,
I want to let you know you're
you're beautiful. That's fine.
yeah, and
I would not go with beautiful. I'd say you look good. Something a little bit more mild because you don't want to gas them up too much. And then be like, boom, what's your Insta or what's your phone number? Be quick with it. Don't waste time.
instead of just like, maybe you could,
Or-
maybe
or
if she's into
don't-
it, maybe if
If she says no, walk away. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just be like, okay, sorry to bother you. Boom. On to the next one.
she's into it, stand there, wait a second. But if you could tell she's like, then walk away.
Also, go into it like not thinking that you're gonna
Get something out of it.
Yeah,
Turn.
get her right away.
Yeah.
Do women often find attractive men cute and romantic when an ugly one doing the exact same thing is creepy?
Honestly,
That's
yes.
exactly what I said.
It's probably rude, but yes.
So then isn't it
True,
entirely
okay.
subjective?
Exactly.
Yes.
So then if so, why should a guy even bother trying to be romantic unless the woman already shows interest?
Well, I think it depends on the girl also. Like it
I agree with that on that sense. You can always see if a chick wants to fuck you or not. The eyes never lie, Chico. If they're giving you the eye, they're looking at you a certain way. And sometimes if you can't, sometimes if they're riffing with you or making fun of you, sometimes they want to fuck. Like that's their way of trying to communicate. Some of them. So I would agree in some sense, but even then you gotta play the numbers game. It's a numbers game for guys. So you gotta play the field. You gotta approach as many women as you can. And even the best guys have a 10% closing rate. That means if you talk to 100 chicks, you're gonna fuck 10 of them. You know, unless you're like Future or The Weeknd or some celebrity or something like that.
depends on who
Yeah,
you
I
are.
mean, if an ugly man came up to me and was like, "You're beautiful," I'd be like, "Thank you so
Well, aren't
much."
you also saying that it depends on the guy?
Yeah, it depends on the.
It does.
But,
I'm gonna
but
be
like
honest.
she said, like if an ugly guy comes up to me and is like, "Oh, like you look very beautiful," then
Someone that she thinks ugly, but let's say I don't think they're ugly, that's the difference. So like attractive.
Everyone-
she thinks.
like she said, like if an ugly guy comes up to me and is like, "Oh, like you look very beautiful," then
Someone that she thinks ugly, but let's say I don't think they're ugly, that's the difference. So like attractive.
Everyone
is a
has
scale.
Yeah,
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Women will often.
But what they're talking about is kind of like when women vet. Like if I was talking to a chick, I notice she has to get me vetted from other females, other female friends in her friends group, and that's because women need the approval of their peers, and there's evolutionary reasons behind that, which we'll get into later maybe in a different video.
Say things like all men cheat
Subscribe
or
to
men
the
only
fucking
want
channel,
one
guys.
thing. Are women more likely to accept negative generalizations about men than they are about women?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think so because a lot of guys are different. There is like a 50% of them that are like good, like they're really nice and respectful, but there's other like ones that just don't have that. And they do whatever the fuck they want and
Okay.
act a fool.
Okay. But why is it when it comes to calling out female behavior, it depends on the woman?
Because women are weird as well.
Yeah, women do the same shit. There's some shicey ass girls out here in Vegas, especially.
Okay, yeah. A lot of them are on my channel, but you're not one of them. So, if women don't need men, why do women date men?
For their own pleasure.
What do you mean?
We don't need them, but we.
You do need men. You do need men. The apartment that you live in, to the electricity that comes to it, to the iPhone in your purse, they're all created by men. You don't want to admit it, and you won't, but it's true. And you can say what you're saying only because some men long time ago fought for your right to do so.
We want them.
We want the attention. We like the attention.
I don't know, maybe procreation, bored.
You're not going to be saying that shit. You're not going to say you don't need men if the Taliban were to invade and then some toxically masculine men from the army had to go fight for you. You're not going to say you don't need men then.
Want them.
We want the attention. We like the attention.
I don't know, maybe procreation, boredom, the need to not be alone.
Well, why not just date a woman?
Look, I do that, so I don't know.
Okay, why not just date a woman?
Because I'm not into
Different
that.
attention.
Okay, so why do women date men?
Because they have a penis.
Okay. So if women want dick, how is that different than men sexually objectifying women?
Because women have more feelings. I mean, they do that, but there's feelings come behind
Blah,
it. Where
blah,
men,
blah,
they just
feelings.
If women don't need men,
We're special.
but there's
We're special.
feelings come behind it. Where men, they just.
if women don't need men, why do women date men?
Dick.
Okay, how is that different than men objectifying women sexually?
Damn, that's a good ass question. I don't have an answer.
We really can't provide nothing but pussy. At the end of the day. That's true.
This kind of shit is not talked about. That's why these people are so clueless. In this new world with the fake mainstream news, none of this shit is ever talked about. So people are so unaware of these facts. And when you tell them, it's like a revelation to them.
Okay, so then
that's why channels like It's Complicated and others are popping, because they're telling the truth.
how come when you ask a woman what she brings to the table, that's not her answer?
Because they're not being true to themselves.
Okay, interesting. All right. So why do women complain about being sexually objectified when you think that the JJ is pretty much all they're bringing?
That's a good question. Wow. Next question, Steven.
You don't have an answer? Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. Do you think a woman's body count matters in dating?
100%.
Well, yes. Okay. When guys look at it, yes, because.
And guys, for anyone who disagrees, would you want to wife up a girl who's fucked 100 guys? Tell me in the comments section. I know I would.
For females to have sex, we have to give them consent, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when a guy has sex with a female, he scored basically.
Okay, so it's unladylike for a woman to go sleep with several guys. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, women didn't sleep with someone, or they didn't even lose their virginity. They got married virgins.
Exactly, and that was not that long ago, man. Even 50, 60, 70 years ago, even in the West. When a woman got married, she was a virgin, and she gave her virginity to her husband. And that is the case in most of the cultures around the world. That is still the case. Only in a degenerate West society, in a degrading society, do we have female promiscuity, and promiscuity in general, but female promiscuity being celebrated. Yeah, it's okay to be a hoe. Yeah, you go, girl. And it's sad, man. A lot of these women end up alone as cat ladies. Because when you fucked 100 dudes, man, you go crazy. These bitches, a lot of these bitches are straight up crazy, man.
You know what I mean? So that's how it's been. So that's already been like the stigma for women. So when dudes do it, it's already okay because it's been okay for so long. They had prostitution going on all the way back when Jesus was alive. You know what I mean? So that's why
it's the
people
oldest
still
profession
make
in the
it
world,
okay today.
Prostitution.
Yeah, it definitely matters. We like to say it doesn't, and it shouldn't, but it does.
Now, the fact that you also like women, does it matter to lesbian women the same way that it matters to men?
No.
That's interesting. How do you like explain the difference there?
I feel like a lot of times, like, when it comes to that, it's the idea of you being, like, more experienced. I'm not saying that people are against, like, messing with, like, a first-time person, but that's such a, like, emotional attachment experience if I'm the first person taking your virginity. Well, if you come across somebody that's already, like, know what they're doing, then, yeah, you're kind of a little bit more comfortable with that. So I don't know why that's different with those two, but I know in the queer community, it's definitely a little different.
Well, if a woman's body count doesn't matter, why would a woman ever slut-shame another woman?
Because female
Body count absolutely matters, because when two female friends stop being friends, the first thing they call each other is slut or whore. And because they inherently know that that's not something to be celebrated. Even other women subconsciously know that it's not a good thing to be a hoe. Because it's very, very easy to be a hoe, but it's not easy to be a player. Being a player is hard. And they know it. They know it. They want to say, oh, well, you're a man with a high body count, so you're a slut too. It's like, nah, I'm a player. It's different. That's why there's different words for it. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I could be out here doing anything. I'm in the city of Toronto. I could be out there having a nice steak with some Russian 9 out of 10. Here I'm sitting listening to this bullshit, man.
females are haters. They be hating on each other.
Well, if women don't even trust other women, then why should men trust women?
Because, like I said, we provide the vajayjay.
Okay.
And we provide the D.
If women provide the vajayjay and men provide the resources, how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
It is. I never said it wasn't.
Okay, so then why do women get offended when you call them prostitutes?
Because they hate getting told the truth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Why do women hate being told the truth?
Because we are very hard-headed and we don't like to listen.
I don't know. I think a lot of women have a hard time admitting when they're wrong and they just want to win the argument. Even though
women never admit they're wrong. Except accountability and admitting you're wrong is generally not a female trait. Now, I'm not saying there's not some women out there who don't have this negative trait, but most women are not accountable, man. It's very difficult to get a female to admit that she was wrong. That's why when they're being unreasonable, you just ignore them.
a lot of women have a hard time admitting when they're wrong and they just want to win the argument, even though. And then you go so far to the point of no return where you just.
This is a female who's been with females. I think she said that she goes both ways. She fucks men and women, so she understands women from a dating perspective. And this is a female telling you the truth.
It's like,
if you don't believe me,
I just have to be right. I don't know why it's a hard thing.
Aren't men more likely to concede even if they're not wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Why do we have the expression being the bigger man?
I don't know.
So why is it often said that women are more agreeable than men?
I think
because they are. There's been many studies done on this. Women are generally speaking more agreeable than men. That's why they're less likely to get pay raises, because men are more likely to ask for the pay raise. There's been many studies done on this. You guys can look this up.
Agreeable, but in a different way.
How so?
I feel like you said with that, to like please a partner, but I feel like women are people pleasers, like just regular in their everyday life. Like I will see myself or see other women, whether it's like in the workforce, whether it's when it comes to being a parent, whether it's your relationships with other women. We'll just kind of take a back seat just to be like, okay, cool, like whatever, we'll go with the flow with that. But I feel like, yeah, when it comes to men with their partners, they'll concede first, but I don't know about like their interactions with other men if that's the case.
Well, how can you be a people pleaser if you also need to be right?
It's a double-edged sword. People are complicated. Like, we're walking contradictions.
That's the end of the video. So here we have a bunch of females and their opinions. Some of them are smart chicks, so not all of them were as dumb as I expected. There's some intelligence in the video that we saw. So that's the wrap for this episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.